Hello, we are here with Miss Santos, and during this interview, I am going to interview her on her faith. So, first question, how would you personally define the term faith?
So I think faith is what you believe in, and your spirituality, your connection to a sense of a higher power. And sometimes it includes an institution, and sometimes it doesn't.
Okay. How do you identify yourself in relation to your faith?
I would say I'm a religious and spiritual, so I am part of an institution, the Catholic institution, but I am also spiritual and believe in that there is something bigger than us. So I would say I am both religious and spiritual.
Okay. What is your faith story? Where did it begin?
Probably from when I was young, and my parents would force me to go to church as a child, and I never missed a weekend. And then as I got older, I went into university, I moved out, and I started learning about lots of different religions, and so I was interested in Buddhism and Hinduism, and so I started reading about those, and eventually I went back to my own religion because I was missing something. And every weekend I'd go home from university, and I would go to church, and I would see the same faces, and it would bring me comfort. And then when I had my own children, I really wanted them. It was important for me to be married in the Catholic Church, and for my children to grow up in the Catholic faith, and to work for the Catholic board, because I could have applied to a public board, but I find that there's something really special about working in a Catholic school. So
That's good. Do you believe in the afterlife?
100%. Like,
Why
what
is
do you
that?
mean afterlife? Like that after you die, there's something
After
else?
you die, yeah. Do you like the
Yes,
afterlife?
yes, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, as a Catholic, after you die is actually the most important part. It's like we believe that after you die, it's like the next stage. And not in a reincarnation way, but in just, it's the next phase of your life where you join with your God. Like you join with God. You join, either whether you believe in heaven or whether you believe in, I don't know what people believe in, but
Heaven
whether you
or
believe
hell?
in it,
Do you believe in heaven or hell?
I do believe in heaven. Hell, I think that hell is what you make it on earth sometimes. I feel like some people are, if they hurt people, or if they, don't do good in their life, I think they live hell on earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Who was influential to helping your faith?
So for sure my mom, because she would even have an altar right by my bedroom.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, she would there was a statue of Mary and rosaries, and anytime I would call her, even today, she's in her 70s, and I'll call her, see how she's doing. She's like, just pray. She's always just pray, right? So probably my mom, without even me realizing, and bringing me to church every week and waking me up every week to go to church, even though I would complain. So definitely my mom.
That's
Yeah.
good. And how did faith affect your life?
Oh man, it's not long enough for, it would take really long for me to answer that question, but basically
just
yeah, in every part of my life, as a child, whenever I've struggled, I would write letters to God. As I got older, as a teenager, and you have your everyday struggles and other things, I would pray a lot. So I just feel like faith has always, I have this saying that God's got me. So even if bad things happen, I can always look back and think there was a reason for it. So that's my faith, is that I know that no matter what, God's got me. Even in the worst situations, or if I'm struggling or suffering, there's a reason for that suffering.
Maybe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, people love that saying, but I also feel like even in my suffering, I'm learning something to help someone else later on in their suffering. if that makes sense. Like if
Yeah.
I didn't suffer, if I didn't go through things that I went through, I wouldn't be able to be there for people who went through the similar suffering.
Yeah, like you're helping them out.
Mm-hmm. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, did you ever have any doubts in God at like certain times, like when you feel he wasn't answering your prayers at some point?
So I would say in uni, it wasn't that I didn't, I was disappointed about something, but in uni, I was curious. I was like a truth seeker. So I was really open to learning about, you know, things that were not so patriarchal, things that were like different, like not just, you know, a man as like God, like, you know, the way you learn about religion as a kid. So I was really into, I guess, just as a truth seeker. So it wasn't that I doubted God, but I just wanted to learn more about other religions and what they believed. I can say that even when I've been through the hardest moments, that I don't think that I'd ever lost faith, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
If anything, I was just curious to see what else was out there.
And how often do you pray?
Oh my gosh, like a few times a day. Like you'll see me.
Like every morning, night,
Well,
during the day?
Well, yeah, like if you see me in the parking lot, I drive away, you'll see me do like a thing on my rosary. You'll see me before I eat. Like people don't
Good.
notice this, but like it's like a constant. Driving home from work, driving to work, before I go to bed. I just have conversations with God.
That's
So,
good.
yeah.
How do you deal with evil and suffering that still exists in this world in relation to your faith?
So I try to really look at suffering. Like I said, okay, let me explain. So let me give you an example. Let's say your friend broke up with their partner,
Yeah.
and you've never been in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And you're there and you want to comfort them.
Mhm.
So you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Right?
Yeah.
So have you been through that before?
Um,
Like your friend broke up with someone and you're trying to comfort them.
I can't think of one, no.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me do
Or
another one.
actually, yes, my sister.
Or oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
my
that.
sister.
Anyway, sorry. Okay, so, but if you've never been through it, right, it's like, can you really know how she feels? Even though you want to be there for her, can you really know how she feels?
I feel like I can.
Okay.
Because maybe if I haven't been in relationships, I've been through like the talking stages. Like,
Oh,
if you know
I
what that
see.
means.
Okay. Let me give another example, because that didn't go the way I wanted. Okay, let's try this.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's perfect. It's awesome. This is
Okay.
what teaching is. Okay, so let's try this one.
Okay.
Okay, knock on wood. Like, have you ever had a friend who's lost someone?
Yes.
Okay, so, and if someone has lost someone and you try to be there for them, you say things like, I'm so sorry, like,
Mhm.
and they believe you,
Mhm.
and right? But is it different if you've lost someone and you are comforting someone? Do you know more how they're feeling if you've also lost someone? Do you know what I mean? Can you understand better, like if you lost someone in your life and let's say they lost their mom and you lost your mom, you can like comfort them
Like,
deeper
feel how
because
she's
you
feeling,
actually
because
have
I've been
felt
through that.
right.
Yeah.
So if you take away suffering and you have never suffered, you can comfort someone else, but can you really know how that person feels?
Probably not.
No. So in our suffering is what I was saying before. It's in our suffering, you know, in the moment we don't want to suffer. But going through that, we can help other people with what they've been through if we've been through it too. So everything we've been through helps us to be there for other people. So that's how I look at suffering. Like Buddhists, they try to remove suffering. They have ways where they can completely try to remove and detach from suffering. But Catholics, we embrace our suffering. We are like, bring it on, we got this, we'll figure it out. And then we try to grow from it and try to do something positive out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like all the helpers in the world, like social workers, teachers, a lot of times, like those people that are like helpers or, you know, do you think they did that just because? Like, so they probably did that because they might have gone through things themselves as kids or as, you know, in their families. that has led them a lot of times to that profession.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
Okay.
are you a Roman Catholic?
I'm Roman Catholic.
You're Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a wrap. So we've learned a lot from Miss Santos. Thank you for
Thank
doing the
you.
interview, and we'll
Okay,
see you later.
bye.
Bye.